Welcome to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. When you hear the word chronically, do you automatically associate it with chronic disease? We all do. It's been programmed right into us. But what if we flip that whole idea on its head? Let's discover how we can create chronic health in our bodies, our minds, our finances, our relationships, and of course, in our lives. Let's jump right on in. I'm Andy, and joining me is my life partner in all things, Minna.
So we're about 2 days away from the end of 2023.
It's coming up. The year is coming up, and I think people are already thinking about New Year's resolutions.
Well, before you go jump onto the new year, why don't we do like a review of this year? We met a few of your friends this last week or so, and a lot of them, I heard a lot of them say this is the worst year they had for in a long time. And that's coming from different people from different areas. Some have to change jobs, maybe even more than once. Some have got hit financially. Some were relationships were broken, and health sickness happened to them.
Correct.
So if you do like a year review, that's basically what companies also do, right? When they wrap up the year, they have to close the books, so they have to do a review of how well you did last year. So how well do you think you did last year?
This year.
This year, okay. We'll do 2023, okay?
I think we did pretty good. I think we shot for the moon and land satellite. We didn't fall right back onto Earth. So we're still in that trajectory. I think it's important to be able to pivot, right? A lot of times is people create such large dreams that are unattainable, right? So setting things up and taking in smaller steps. Even today, Coach Manny is going to talk about how to make fitness simple again, breaking things down to make things simpler. You're definitely going to have more success. So, yeah, I think it was okay. I'm not proud of what's happened, but it's definitely going in the direction of our vision where we want the company to go globally.
And a lot of times, how you see what happens during the year is it can change based on your view of it, right? So bad things happen to you. May something for some people you may have to this company closed down. You need a new job, but that might actually be the best thing that happened to you. So it depends on how you look at it. And maybe some things happened to you last year, this year, that you haven't seen the good side of it, but it will. Some things always work out.
Yeah, there's blessings in disguise. I always tell people that when something bad happens, a new door opens. Make sure you step through that door, right? Because there's new opportunities. And I honestly believe, we believe law of attraction. We really believe everything happens for a reason. And if you followed us, a little early this year, we had a major mishap in Dubai, but now, we're changing lives from the people that we met there. There's so many people there that we have touched now that is helping their health turn around. So yeah, during that time, I thought it was the worst thing to happen in a year. But looking forward to 2024, we're going to have a lot of exciting things coming up. Of course, I can't talk about till 2024. But yeah, we are definitely working on making this go globally, and going out there to share our message globally too.
So if you want to do like a year review, there are some questions that you want to ask yourself. Not just, is it a good year, is it a bad year? But let's go a little deeper. Let's think about maybe what was the best thing that happened to you last year.
I think the best thing that happened to me is really connecting with a lot of new friends out there, that we have commonalities, that we do want to improve people's lives in all aspects, right? Not just the health, right? Even our guest I was asking earlier, how many episodes have we had so far? And I didn't know we've done so many. I had to actually look. And we have gone through 48 episodes, meaning that we had 48 guests that share something impactful to help people in some aspect of their life, right? So I think that's one of the best things that happen is this network of friends with a common vision to help others.
For sure. We actually started this show early this year in January. We planned for last year, but we actually started this year.
Correct.
So this might be one of the better things that happened to us this year.
Exactly. Well, Minna, what made you laugh this year? Because I think it's really important for people to get some laughter in their life. People that laugh and have more joy in their life, in the relationship. And, I think studies even show they live longer, right? So you definitely, when life throws you lemons, sometimes you have to figure out how to make lemonade and laugh at it. Like, what made you laugh this year?
Well, I actually laughed a lot, but I don't remember them. I guess one of the thought was kind of funny was, we talked to some of your friends about conspiracy theories,
Yes.
and they mentioned a certain president's wife, first lady, which is, according to conspiracy theory, she's not a wife, she's actually a husband. So I thought that was actually very funny, and that stuck with me. It doesn't impact me whether she is a wife or a husband, it doesn't matter to us. But it was funny, and that actually made me laugh.
That was interesting, and of course we're not going to talk about who that person is, but it definitely made me laugh. It's like in the middle of the restaurant when they told us that, we just broke out in laughter, and everyone's like looking at us like, well, these guys crazy. I was like, oh my god, it's like it was hard not to laugh about that, right?
Right. So let's go for another question. How well did you take care of yourself this year?
This year I think I did a pretty good job. And it's funny that you asked that question because today I am feeling a little bit down. And it's interesting, half an hour before the show started, I was just sprawled out on the couch. And Nina says, do you want to cancel the show today? And I was like, there's no way. We got Coach Manny on the show. This is going to be a great show. It's our last show for the year. Show must go on. Right. And so, but in general, I think I did a pretty good job.
You got your back up?
Yeah, I think maybe I only gained 10 pounds this year, and I was pretty good in the beginning of the year, just after Thanksgiving that everything went downhill. But hey, we only got 3 days to kickstart over again, and Coach Manny's going to tell us some tips how to do it, right? So
for sure. So is there anything you regret doing this year or regret not doing this year?
I think what I regret doing this year is maybe activity. Like a lot of people tell you to take action, right? You take action, and then a lot of people stop after they take action. For me, I think one of the things I regret is once I took action, my activity, my continuous activity wasn't there, the follow-ups, right? And I can definitely do that a little bit better for the new year. So that's one of the regrets, because a lot of those follow-ups could have generated a lot of new connections, a lot of new business, and a lot of people we could have helped.
Right. So having done this kind of year in review kind of exercise, it will help you decide what you want to approach next year. So, prepare for your next year, you decide what you want to do, and then you take small steps every day, take an action every day towards your goal for next year.
And of course, I am going to plug my friend's book because I promised her that I will. So she wrote a book, and it's on pre-sale now, and it's called The Magic of Dreaming Big, Acting Small, and Achieving Success. Right? I think a lot of people they make these big goals, and they get so scared and don't know how to achieve those goals. So she says, hey, break them down to smaller steps and celebrate after each step. So you have that celebration to see where you're going towards that goal. That's all I'm going to talk about for the book. You need to get that book to find out the rest of it. It's a great book. It's very thin. You can finish reading it literally in 45 minutes. And we got the link right there on on the screen.
For sure. And if you plan to start a new year on with a bang, start reading books, and this may be a good start. Nice small book, and it takes you what, an hour to read it?
Yeah, seriously, it was just took me. I finished reading it when I was on my PMF infrared bed. So,
awesome. All right, so get the book, prepare for the year, and we're gonna take a break, and we'll come right back.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy later years with energy, vitality, and good health. But so often with age, our bodies show signs of things just aren't the same as they used to be. Our energy. We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy later years with energy, vitality, and good health. But so often with age, our bodies show signs of things just aren't the same as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing recovery time, and sleep all go downhill. If you had physical trauma that happened to your body like I did, this happens much faster. I felt like a 30-year-old trapped in an 80-year-old body. But do you remember as kids the boundless energy we had, how fast we recovered? This is not because of getting old, but because of active stem cells inside our bodies. These are the cells that can generate and regenerate all the cells and structures in the human body. They are the building blocks of our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an innate repair system everywhere inside the body. But as we get older, stem cell activity slows down, become less effective in repairing damage, and decline. By the age of 20, we only have 1 billion stem cells left. By 30, they decline by 60%. By 50, they decline by 75%. 60 by 90%. And by 80, we're lucky to have 50 million active stem cells. But what if we can naturally stimulate our bodies to reactivate and regenerate new stem cells through phototherapy without drugs? Now we can with our LifeWave X39 stem cell activation patches. Reclaim your youth and look younger, feel stronger, perform better, and heal faster. Get your patches now at lifewave.com/chronically healthy life. It's not anti-aging, it is reverse aging.
Hey everybody, and Happy New Year. I wanted to talk today about the difference between making New Year's resolutions and setting intentions. Resolutions tend to be something big and extravagant and vague, like, I'm going to eat healthy this year. I'm going to get my kids to eat healthy this year. You know what? That's tough, because what does that really mean? It's so much easier to set an intent to do something simple like, you know what? I'm going to start making smoothies for my kids every day filled with lots of fresh blueberries and a banana, something to get them that fruit in them in a way that's easy and healthy. You can even send it to school with them in a thermos. And same for you when you go to work. Or adding vegetables to every meal, throwing some veggies into eggs, or just adding a simple salad to each meal. Those are simple, sustainable steps that move you towards your goal in an intentional way, so that by this time next year, you can look back and you can give yourself a pat on the back for how far you've come and how much everybody in your family is eating healthier. Plus, think of the immense value you're giving your kids by teaching them young, simple, easy, sustainable ways to eat healthier, be healthier, act healthier, live healthier, and in a fun way that can be fun. Because, I personally am a big fan of having kids come in and help out in the kitchen. All right. So happy 2024 to everyone. I'm wishing you all the success, health, life, love, and abundance that ever could rain down on you.
Uh-oh. Oh, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm
okay,
sorry.
Now I can hear you. All right, cool. I was like, oh
no. Technical difficulties.
All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life. I'd like to welcome for our final guest of 2023, Coach Manny Osaseri, who started, I got it right, who started Daily Fit Boost, or DFB, as a fitness blog to inspire his own parents to stay active after they retired. Today, DFB serves hundreds of people each week with simple wellness tips that people can practice each day. And you could check him out on Facebook and Instagram as well. This year, DFB started rolling out several online and in-person custom training programs, which address the specific needs of each client. Regardless of a client's goal, the message behind DFB still remains the same: your fitness made simple. I love that. And I have to say, Manny, you know what you're talking about. Tell us about your internship that you landed.
Yeah, it was actually cool, and thanks for the introduction. It's an honor to be on here. It's super cool. So I'm originally from LA, and when I first applied to what brought me to Houston back in 2020 was I really wanted to do strength and conditioning. My background is in kinesiology, athletic training. Strength and conditioning was an itch that I wanted to scratch. And so I had a really cool opportunity to apply for one of the Houston Texans private training facilities out here. And I ended up landing it out of like 200 applicants. And so I've been in Houston ever since. It was a 1 year opportunity to really be around some really smart brains, work with some pro athletes, some really cool Houston athletes around town, and yeah, just really soak up all this knowledge so that I can apply it to athletes that I work with, but where my heart and my main passion is right now, general population. So that's what brought me to Houston, and yeah, it was really cool.
Oh, that's wonderful. How exciting that would be.
Yeah.
Well, you obviously know what you're talking about. So I'm thrilled because we were talking about, moving into the new year, and fitness is a huge, probably everyone in the planet has some form of a fitness goal
Right.
for their New Year's resolutions, which I prefer intentions, but that's fine. I think I like what you said. It when you make it simple and manageable, it's sustainable. You can keep going and find those successes. I like that you have that goal. You have that right in your bio.
Yeah, you have to put, that's the slogan. I mean, everything that I do can be summed up into that, or at least that's my target goal. So yeah, your fitness made simple.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So I'm gonna throw a question at you.
Yeah.
What is exercise and what makes it so hard? People think it's
Right.
hard.
So great question. Exercise to me in its simplest form is movement. We are human, as humans, we are moving beings. Even our muscular structure design, I'm looking at my skeleton here, my cadaver here, we're not meant to really sit down, at least not for prolonged periods of time. There's a saying that says, there's a saying that goes, the best sitting position is your next position. And so our bodies always want to be moving. And so that's what I look at exercise at. There's not a single exercise anyone can name that I can't say that's a movement. And so you use the word simplicity and sustainable, and I think that's where I'm trying to bring people back to. The easiest habits to adapt are the ones that you subconsciously already doing without knowing it. And so if I tell somebody you have exercise by going up and down the stairs, just by doing the laundry or whatever, and they're like, oh, I guess that is exercise. Now let's crank that up and make it into a challenge so we can turn that exercise into an actual workout. And so Daily Fit Boost is your fitness made simple. If I feel like if I have a client that's not enjoying their exercise and feel like the exercise too hard, I feel like that's not exercise, right? That's just punishment. They just call it for what it is. And so something sustainable is going to be something that's meaningful to you. And I think that's why a lot of exercise is hard, because it's not, I can have somebody do 50 push-ups, but if they don't know why, they're gonna quit. I mean, it's not irrelevant and it hurts, right? But if I have, for example, like my mother-in-law, who our goal is for her to be able to reach up and grab something off the top shelf. And so if I have her doing arm raises in this program, she knows why she's doing it, and she can be able to test what she's doing by each time she reaches up or puts a shirt on. She's starting to see that improvement just by doing stuff that she needs to do. So exercise is movement. And if I can tailor that movement towards something that's meaningful and sustainable and put it in the form of a workout, that is Daily Fit Boost. So a lot of my exercises tend to be body weight exercise for that. One of the reasons for that purpose.
Oh yeah, and like climbing up and down the stairs is a body weight. You're moving your body weight up and down the stairs.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
full body movement. It's one of the best exercises, actually.
Yeah.
So you can imagine if
Yep.
someone's at work, right, and they don't have time to go to the gym, but they happen to work on the 10th floor of a building, right? I mean, listen, put your shoes in the back of the car, and if you want to go to work an hour early or leave 30 minutes late, like, I got a stair exercise for you now. Exercise is all around us, and if I can get people to think in that sort of mindset, then exercise becomes a lot less threatening, which I think is a big problem.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you. I also have always objected to being forced to do exercise ever since I was in school. And they would force us to run laps, and I hate running with a passion. But I would walk those laps till the sun went down. because I like to walk, but I hated running. It hurt. Like you said, it was painful. And so I think, but then there were other people that they were like, let's go.
Yeah, those people are probably still running today. They actually
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the only way you can run with a smile on your face long term is if you actually enjoy it. It's meaningful, the runner's high. Otherwise, yeah, most people like myself, I'm not a big runner with a smile like you.
No, but get me in a swimming pool and I'll
There you
go.
go.
I'll go hours. And then other people will be like Andy. Andy, I'm going to reveal. Andy and he still has to come over and let me help him modify his swimming so that he feels more comfortable in the pool. I'm going to do that for him when it gets warmer.
There you go.
A little chilly right now, but
okay. Yeah,
well,
for sure.
I love that. Sometimes it is just a matter of how can you improve? And even if you're just taking baby steps, that's improvement. I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a myth that exercise has to be hard and painful to be effective.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, myths are prevalent, right? You get enough people to fail doing exercise, and then you have, a popular myth that seems like the truth, and a lot of people believe it. When in all actuality, a lot of people just are doing things that are meaningless to them. So why do it? Like for you, for example, if you're my client, I would never write running into your workout ever. I'll write some exercises that give you the benefits of running, but not running in all actuality. And I'll try to find something that's meaningful to you or an event that's coming up that's meaningful to you and try to cater that particular exercise towards that. And that's all it is. But, the myth of exercise being hard and stuff, it's hard because it's not sustainable, right? So let's make it sustainable. It's a lot of dissecting, but I mean, this is stuff that I've been thinking about like over the years and pretty refined thoughts. But it's really simple, which is why I came up with Daily Fit Boost. My parents are both retired, retirement age now, and so I started Daily Fit Boost as a way to give them some tutorials and some guides to know what to do at the gym. And then I started writing blog posts, and then it built into a business. Because I feel that there's two groups of people that are out of shape, right, or don't work out. There's the people who want to work out and don't know what to do. And then there's those who want to work out or don't want to work out, and then they know what they know what to do, but they just don't want to. So I'm more targeted towards the former, to where I want to do this, but what do I do? Go to Daily Fit Boost. I got tutorials on like how to use every exercise machine, every weight, cables and stuff, just so that you can go into the gym and feel confident and not feel like a noob. So it's something I'm very passionate about because everyone already exercises. It's just that it's not tailored towards anything, or they may not notice it or do it enough. That's all.
What about people who don't want to go to the gym? What about doing, a home routine that works for them?
Yeah, that's right up my alley. That's right up my alley, because I like the word that you used again. I'll use it as well. Sustainability, right? And so you're not always able to make it to the gym, but you're always going to be able to make it home, right? And so if you can set up, and this is where I think a lot of people really they struggle with consistency with home workouts, because you have to really treat your home as your gym. Like if you're going to commit to it, right? So that means having your gym bag at the house ready to go wherever you exercise, having your shoes as if you're actually going to the gym. And when you set that environment in your mind, I think I love home workouts, because you can use weights if you want to, and it's just easier. It's just easier. There's pros and cons though, right?
Well, I also, if you have stairs available at all, when I lived in San Diego, we lived in an upstairs condo, so up and down the stairs, and I just was like, I would take breaks from the computer, and I go outside and I go up and down the stairs a few times.
Right.
And it was really, really easy and convenient, and I didn't have to drive anywhere.
Easy and convenient.
Yeah.
That's why exercise is hard, because hard exercise is it's not convenient and it's not easy, right? It's a myth.
Right. It is a myth. It is a myth. It is a myth. So let's talk, I think a lot of people think in terms of weight loss. They've got COVID weight, or they've got menopause weight, or they've got I've been at home in lockdown for how many years now, and I've changed my life, and now I'm at home all the time, or, and they feel like they're putting on some pounds. So, Katya, let's get off the couch.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah.
So what do you think are some of the problems with having weight loss goals, and how can we look at it? How can we change that perspective?
Yeah, it's simple. The problem with goals is that you can fail at them, right? And so if we take away the goal and we give and we substitute it with with something meaningful, right? And when you're working towards something meaningful, it doesn't matter how long it takes, right? It's a process, it's a journey, it's sustainable. And so if your why for wanting to exercise is that you want to just be healthy enough to play with your kids and be able to pick them up without straining your back or something, that's an excellent goal with deep meaning. And any loving father that has that desire in their heart is going to commit to whatever it takes to be able to do that. And guess what? That person might lose 15 pounds along the way anyways, right? And so when most of my clients are just so obsessed with the scale because it's an easy way to track. It's just like, man, there's so many components. The scale will lie to you. It's just like, how are you feeling? I mean, if it's a weight loss goal, like how are your clothes feeling, right? You'll see it in your clothes, inches before pounds anyways, right? How are you feeling overall? Like, let's step out of the scale. Let's get it back to more of a lifestyle sort of thing so that we don't have to worry about goals and failing and stuff. It hurts to fail. I mean, people have so many, like, you have to work through people's pain points and stuff because a lot of times, like, you'll have somebody that comes to you, like me, like a trainer that's already had like 2 or 3 trainers and they fail for different reasons, and then they have all this pain and stuff, and it's because, like, they have unsustainable goals. They don't break it into small parts like Andy was talking about at the beginning, and they have all these factors and stuff like that. It's just like, I like to I like to use the thing of just like, there's the typical weight loss client of, or is a typical client of, it's 3 months out and they want to lose 15 pounds for a Vegas trip or to have abs for the summer or whatever, which is fine. But the problem with that goal is, even if you reach that goal, then what? You know what I mean? Are you going to relapse? Like, are you just like, I mean, I've been in bodybuilding shows before, and I would never eat like that for the rest of my life. That was a 3 month period of just strict regulation, and then, like, that was it. And so that's not Daily Fit Boost. Daily Fit Boost is lifelong sustainability, that you can end up reaching some fitness goals and benefits along your journey. But I need to set up the template for that, and that's what I try to do with my programs and my programs.
Oh, I like that so much better, because that's true. I mean, how many movies have we seen where there's a running gag about losing 10 pounds to go to that 20-year reunion or something ridiculous like that? I got to fit into that dress. I'm speaking as a woman.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, when really a lot of the times in that example, a lot of times the person doesn't want to lose for a reunion or something. I want to lose 10 pounds for my high school reunion. Really, you just want to feel confident and look good in the clothes that you have. I mean, it's inner confidence, right? And so a lot of times, and that's another problem with goals, is that our goals are kind of like masked and stuff. They're always masking, like, that's why I always ask, like, what's your why? Why do you want it? Why? Because, like, you get past these masks and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's masks. I like that. That what
Yeah.
Like a mask of, oh, I have to be perfect for this, using the reunion or this event,
What's going
or
to happen after the reunion? What, you're going to relapse? I mean, there's stats
yeah.
out there. People will lose weight and then they'll end up gaining even more back. Why? They're just, it's these goals, and like the fact that someone can hit their goal and then still relapse and then have all these pain points and stuff, and just, I mean, it's a vicious cycle. So I try to help with that, and I
What
think,
what have you encountered in your experience to be one of the biggest pain points that people have?
oh, that's a good question. I think it's just I think it's very painful. It's almost like embarrassing when you have a desire to lose weight, but you still can't. People who are overweight, who want to lose weight, know that they need to lose weight, but when you can't for X, Y, and Z reasons and stuff like that, I mean, now it's starting to change my mindset to the fact that, man, it takes a lot of courage to go and seek out a personal trainer nowadays, man. I mean, especially after you fail time and time again. Like, how do you know this next trainer's not going to fail? And it's just like, that's why I just like, I mean, my heart just bleeds for people who just want to lose weight and stuff, because, I know you've been wounded and stuff, and for a lot of these things that we're talking about, right? A lot of this stuff is prevalent and things, but a lot of people's pain point is just the guilt of just failing at something that they really would like to do, which is lose weight.
Mm.
And, it can be very helpless. It can be, that's the word. It's helpless, right? And so that's painful. That can be painful. And then you
Yeah.
have even more confusion where, the pharmaceutical industry and stuff, there is no magic weight loss pill. If there was a magic weight loss pill where you could just take it and not do anything, that person will be a trillionaire. I promise. It doesn't exist. It's calories in, calories out. But a lot of
Oh.
people will resort to these sorts of things when they failed so many times, and you get desperate, and yeah, it's a lot.
And they have promoted magic weight loss pills and made trillions, and they're all a
Yeah,
lie.
they're still selling it. Exactly. Exactly. No, but I mean that's what you resort to, though. I mean, even though it doesn't make common sense to us, but that's what people resort to sometimes. Um,
Yes, that's true.
by any means
Desperation.
necessary.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is what's really interesting is that what I try to get some clients to think about is when you gain the weight, you weren't in a rush to gain the weight. Your body wasn't in a rush to gain the weight. So why would it be in a rush to lose it? I mean, there's chemistry and biology going on. It's just like, and that's why I try to like get past the goal of what their goal is and stuff, and just move that out of the way and really see like how I can make this sustainable for them so that they hit their
Mhm.
goals accidentally along the way.
And then they get to celebrate.
Yeah, and I get to
Yeah.
celebrate with them. It's our celebration for
Oh,
sure.
I like that. That that's nice. I like that. It's not just like, okay, come in and do your training and then leave.
No, no,
It's
no, no.
it's a real relationship.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. I know about my clients, just naturally and stuff. I know about their kids, their likes, their dislikes. I know when they're stressed. One of them is in the stock market and stuff. So I know when the stock market is doing well because they'll come in stressed. I mean, he'll come in happy, and then when it's bad, he'll come in stressed. And it's just, you got to know about these people, and that's why I like it. That's one of the. It's really rewarding.
Oh, yeah. I would think so. I would think so. It's, you know, so we need to think smaller then. We like, you may have an overall view of, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds, say, whatever. And but starting small, how can that like change your life? And what would the person do to start small besides call you and set up a time to come in and
So you said, well, so what would somebody do? So I can give an example. Would that help?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, if someone wanted to get good at doing squats, for example, and they just had bad squat form, or it was uncomfortable, maybe they had rehab on their knees or something like that, a way of starting small is, instead of trying to do a whole full squat all at once, just sit against the wall and just sit there and do a wall squat, which is a great quad activator. From there, you'll get so confident after a week or so, you'll notice that you'll be able to slide down deeper into the wall, deeper into the wall. Now your hip flexors are getting engaged, and now you're able to go deeper. And now, before you know it, a month in, you're able to do a full body squat. And that would be one example of starting small. Starting small can also work with goals if there's a particular meaningful goal. Like, let's say let's say someone wanted to just do 100 push-ups for some reason, right? I would say, all right, we're going to start with just one push-up a day. You can do more, but we're just going to do one push-up a day. And then in 2 weeks, your minimum is going to be two push-ups a day. You can do more, and then just that way, it's just like you can only focus on one thing at once anyways, right? So it's good to have a macro view, but also a micro view towards your goal, so that every day is relevant. You're not going through the motions. You know why you're doing what you're doing. You know what you're working for. And before you know it, as the saying goes, what is it? Death by a thousand cuts. Before you know it, it becomes easy. I look at experience as I look at repetitions as a unit of experience. So someone who's really experienced doing push-ups, someone who's chiseled, they've just done a lot of reps. or
Mm.
someone who's done, they're a professional. A professional to me is somebody who's done a whole bunch of reps, right, at whatever it is. And it's the same thing too, breaking whatever you're doing into small tiny reps and seeing what happens.
Well, also, if you say to me, "Okay, Chris, you have a goal of doing 100 push-ups, and you're going to start with one push-up a day," I'm going to think I can do one push-up a day.
It's less threatening.
It's much less threatening. And
Instead
when
of
I
go ahead, I'm sorry.
oh, I was going to say, once I've done it, I have success. I did it.
Boom. I'm glad I let you finish. So the feeling of success that you brought me to my the last thing I want to say about starting out small. We need a daily feeling of success. So imagine if someone's running a marathon, 26 miles, right? And they only get a congratulations or they only get a hooray and the crowd cheering at the very end, as opposed to someone who's running the same 26 miles, but they're getting cheered on each and every single mile. Those 26 cheers, they're building momentum. And what's happening is there's this intrinsic sort of belief. Once somebody develops intrinsic belief and motivation, they barely need me anymore. I mean, it's very powerful force, and it comes through these small progressive sort of things. So that's the analogy I would use as far as running a marathon and getting cheered on only at the end, or versus getting cheered on every mile. And each mile would be each day of progression as you're building on towards the bigger picture of those full 26 miles, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. It really strikes me hard that your philosophy can be applied to literally anything in life. If you're building a business, you're developing relationships with your kids' teachers, you're helping your kids as they grow and through all the challenges of childhood.
Yeah, yeah.
And teaching kids this from a young age would be awesome.
Yeah, for
And
sure. I'll be best, right?
yeah, instead of having to relearn when
Right.
you're an adult and break all the myths and then start again.
Yeah, telling you.
Well, so, right now we're in this, we're shifting into a new year. Things have been chaotic. They probably are going to be more chaotic. Everybody, I know my personal life, I had a bomb drop on my head a few weeks ago that I've had to work through. So chaotic, there's never a time when in life, really, maybe there's a day, but there's never a time that's just like, it's the perfect time to just get started. So why is starting something like this in the middle of chaos like the best time?
Man, me and Andy were talking about this. I think the best time to start any habit, anything that you're working towards, is when things are imperfect, aka chaos. And what happens is, if you're able to commit to something day one in the midst of a chaotic day or a chaotic moment in your life, you're starting off at the peak already. So anything past that is only going to get easier. I mean, most people quit when they ramp up and then they hit a wall, and then they ramp up and then they hit a wall, and then what if you start at the wall, is what I'm saying. And so, like, when at that point everything else becomes easy, it becomes sustainable, like you said earlier. And it's nice when things aren't chaotic, but that's just not life. You know what I mean? So you might as
It's
well
just
start when
not.
things are imperfect and stuff, and prove to yourself subconsciously that, I got this. I think it's the best way. I think, yeah, there's just no way around it. Otherwise, you can wait and stuff. And sometimes a quote unquote perfect time would come, but you just prove to yourself that you need the perfect time to start. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if someone's going through, like, right around the corner from New Year's Eve, someone's starting a New Year's resolution goal, or whatever it is, like, man, don't wait till you feel like you have enough, but just start. Figure out a way to just start and figure out and figure it out along the way, for sure.
Well, yeah, and it seems like, in the midst of chaos, I mean, I could literally just stop for a minute and do my one push-up or whatever it is that
Boom,
I
and you get that feeling of success for the day.
have.
You get that check mark. I like to think of it as a check mark. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's always time for you to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes and do something, go up and down the stairs, or or lean against the wall and do a modified squat and build up those legs and without straining your knees or whatever that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's starting small in the midst of chaos. It reinforces a very powerful thing to us subconsciously when we're able to get that feeling of accomplishment in the midst of chaos. And so that's why it's so important to make sure the goals are micro steps, so that you, no matter how bad it is, it's still easy enough for you to still get that check mark. I mean, it's powerful.
It is.
I mean, I mean, you have to, whenever you start, you're going to have to be able to continue it through, you know, life happening. And so rather just start now and just start building getting those reps, those experience, reps. And
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
okay.
I used to be a teacher, so chaos was the order of the day. It was always chaos.
If you've been a teacher, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what you're going to get. What age, what age, what grade?
Oh, I worked in the K-8 system, but I was a resource teacher. So I worked with kids who had learning differences like dyslexia,
Oh,
things like
okay.
that.
Yeah, for sure.
And
For sure.
so, yeah, chaos.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? What you say works in that too, because with kids, if you give them a manageable thing and give them success at it, it makes them much more agreeable to moving in that direction. So if you want to start a 5-year-old off, like learning how to help with chores, give them something easy that they can succeed at. Okay, go get the trash out of the bathroom, dump it into the main trash can. Yay, we did it. That works really well with kids too.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's awesome. Yeah, that sense of ownership. That works great. Yeah.
yeah, well,
Power. Yeah.
this kind of appeals to like my inner child almost, because I feel like what you're saying is like, yeah, I can do that. You made me feel this way in this interview. You made me feel like I can do this.
It doesn't
So
feel like exercise is hard.
no, I don't feel that way anymore. Actually, if you tell me I'm going swimming, I'm going to be like, okay, let's go. That is not hard for me. Well, let me ask you, how can our audience find you, Coach Manny?
Yeah, I mainly put all of my Instagram fitness videos on Instagram at Daily Fit Boost. And then as far as if you would like to chat, I would love to chat with you, and you can set up a consultation at dailyfitboost.com. And when you click there, you can just scroll down to a red box that says "Let's chat." And whether or not we end up even working together, I mean, I give out free tips all the time, and tutorials. I would love to point you in the right direction, or let's just chat. Let's just chat. And that's how you can find me. And then I'm also on Facebook. Lastly, Emmanuel Osaseri is how you can find me on Facebook. And those are pretty much the things that I operate with. Next year, I'll be starting my podcast again, the People Like You podcast. That's going to be on YouTube. In short, well, the episodes are already up. I have 35 episodes I think I left off at. And the People Like You episode is I bring out 35 different individuals, guy, girl, old, young, all the fields that you can think of. I have nurses, I've had older guys, I've just farmers, everything. And they share their fitness story about what's been working for them. So you can go on YouTube and check those episodes out. The People Like You podcast is designed for anybody to go and find at least one person that they can relate and identify with.
Oh, that is a fabulous idea for a podcast.
I'm going
Wow.
to start that up again next, I guess it'll be season 3 for me. So I will start that up
Okay.
again next year. So we'll see.
Well, Coach Manny, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank
I've
you.
just thoroughly enjoyed this, and I think
Me
our
too.
audience
This
is
is
going to
fun.
get it. Yes. Okay, everybody stay tuned. Coming up next is our biohacking tip of the week. Hi, everyone. This is Christy Boyd Johnson of the Barefoot Learning Club. It is a sad fact that today politics have completely taken over the schools. Real learning has been sacrificed for political agendas. As a result, kids are not learning to read. We have 2nd and 3rd graders barely reading, except for those lucky kids who will read no matter what the schools do to them. Unfortunately, that is not the majority. When I was teaching, I watched how really good reading systems were systematically eliminated from the schools. I saw kids shutting down and believing that they were too dumb to learn. Worse still, by making reading unattainable, they are essentially stealing our kids' futures. So the rebel that is me went on a quest to find reading programs that really work, that work with our neurological systems to enhance and speed up the learning process. And the number one thing that needs to happen is that we have to teach our kids to read. That is why Alicia and I started the Barefoot Learning Club. We are giving everyone the opportunity to learn to read in a way that is simple, fast, and fun. Best of all, your kids will start having success and never again believe that they are too dumb to learn. Go to barefootlearningclub.com now and sign up. Join me in being a rebel and let's get our kids reading. If they can read, they can literally do anything.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. So in our biohacking segment this week, I figured I'll show you what I do with in the winter time when people are getting sick. There's little dry coughs, and he's feeling a little down. There's a lot of sickness going on. So one of the things I like to do is to make an elderberry syrup. So elderberry, you can either, if you can find fresh ones, great. I buy dry ones from Amazon, which works. And elderberry is one of those weird ones that you don't want to eat it raw. You actually have to cook it. So what I have here is about 2/3 of a cup of elderberry. Just put them in the pot. And I have a cinnamon stick. Throw it in. About a tablespoon of ginger. If you have fresh grated ginger, that's great. I don't have it, so I'm just going to use ginger powder. Now, to make it a syrup, what you need is honey. So I went a little fancy here. What I have here is actually 3 different types of honey. And what you have here, the darker ones, these are the local honey. This is actually Manuka honey, which is great for antibacterial properties. And we also bought some raw unfiltered white honey from Dubai, which I'm going to put in as well. So let's give it maybe like a 1/3 cup each to make it an even cup of honey. Put it all in. Right? And let's give it about 3.5 cups of water. And simple as that. So you bring all this into a boil and let it simmer for about 40-45 minutes, and then let it cool down and put it in the filter out the stuff, and then put it in a bottle and put it in the fridge, and you can use it whenever you need it. Just take it out, maybe add it to your tea or add it to some hot water, or just drink it with whatever your favorite winter beverage is. And it's great for your immune system. It's great to hydrate you, and so it's a great beverage for just the holidays. So again, this is the biohacking segment, and I'll see you back here next year.
Hello, we are Mutts and Meows Rescue, a 501c3 nonprofit, foster-based, no-kill group. Mutts and Meows Rescue pulls dogs and cats from surrounding shelters in the greater Houston area. We even pick up dogs and cats abandoned on the streets. Mutts and Meows Rescue is foster-based and rely on your donations to keep rescuing. To know more about us is to know more about our furry friends and help them find their forever homes. Come visit us at Mutts and Meows Rescue on Facebook today and decide how you can make a difference.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. So I think it's great that we have Coach Manny here just to wrap up the year and get you started, for the new year.
Exactly. A lot of those tips that he gave are amazing because I think, like we said earlier, so many people set up too large of a goal. But setting smaller goals, and when you hit them and more, you definitely will celebrate more too, right? As opposed to setting a large goal that you never hit and you get discouraged, right? So I think, his topics on how to make fitness simple again for the new year was amazing.
Yeah, for sure. So, when you have 2 more days to decide what your New Year's resolution is going to be, again, wrap up your year, do a year in review, and think about what's important to you and how you can start working on your goals next year and just take small steps.
Agreed. And, definitely, I think it's very important to celebrate the successes that you had this year, and don't concentrate on the failures because guess what? They're going to be successes next year, right? We can't hit all successes each time.
No matter what your goals are, pick up a book and read on it. Just make yourself an expert on your topic, and that will take you further than you have imagined.
Exactly. So next week we have Alea Harris as our guest. Join us here on Friday at 7 p.m. CST. You can watch past episodes at watch.e360tv.com in the Vitality Network. Also, we'd love to hear from you. You can give us your comments on our Facebook page, Chronically Healthy Life. You can rewatch this episode on our website, chronicallyhealthylife.com, or our YouTube channel. And of course, email us at anything@chronicallyhealthylife.com. We would love to hear from you. See you next week.
See you next year.
Hi there, I'm Dawn Livingston, your host on the Transcend and Succeed show. Join me Fridays at 2 p.m. Central for limitless inspiration and ways to help you transcend your limitations. Tune into the Achieve TV network and the Voyage to Vitality channel. Transcend and Succeed show, right here on E360 TV.